You see, we ain't got the alcoholics on here, so we sipping wine right now.
Man, watch yourself.
Hey, why you say I be going out on dates? Cause I had the Stella Rose in the crib.
If you have the Stella Rosa, you go out on dates.
You go out on multiple dates?
Multiple, dog. Stella Rosa works for everybody. Shit, look at y'all. Hey, look. We ain't got no liquor. Hey, I got a Stella Rosa.
Yo, be like, nigga, pull me up right now on cue. On cue.
I don't want to kill it.
I'm on this vanilla almond.
My guy Trav,
time.
are you still off no liquor? Last time we had Travie on in the cut, he mentioned that he was not drinking liquor at the moment.
Yeah, I'm still not drinking liquor.
What? How long has it been now? A good what? 3 months?
Yeah.
See, I'm trying to get on your level right now. That's why I'm trying to transition off the lick to wine. It's a process, okay? Now, if somebody would have had some tequila in here, I don't know how disciplined I could have been.
I don't
took
blame
a shot
you.
at that.
I don't blame you.
For real.
I went to Dave and Buster's the other day, and
Which one?
It's only one.
Oh, I-10.
Oh, the one. Okay.
And I was just stressing for some reason. I can't remember now, but I was like, man, I'm ordering a beer, dog. Ordered that shit.
Oh, no beer or anything.
I ordered the beer, and it came to the table, and I just stared at it.
What kind of beer?
Dos Equis.
See, I thought it was just no liquor. I didn't know beer.
I haven't drank any type of alcohol. And I had a sip of champagne on accident.
On accident? On your birthday?
Nah, I was pouring it for somebody and was holding it afterwards and then thought it was my water cup and then drank that shit.
Oh, man. What is this? What is this filth? Now,
I feel like a child. You know how a child be like, damn, that's nasty.
Ew, alcohol. What is this?
I'm like, damn, who am I, dog?
Hey, shout out my Uncle James. I think I taste alcohol. I think I was at about 4 or 5. I took a sip of his beer. Rest in peace to Uncle James, man. Real talk. I commend you on that, brother, because, again, I know it's a process. It's a struggle when... Especially the business you in, you know, you out, you promoting, you interacting, you networking with people. That's a way to kind of, at least for me, to like relieve anxiety. When I'm out amongst people, let me have a drink or something in my hand just so I can look cool, so I don't look awkward at the function or at the gathering. So I commend you on that because I'm trying to transition off the lick, off the tequila, because I can act a little, a certain type of way whenever I'm a little bit intoxicated. But how we doing? How's everyone doing thus far?
Oh, we great over here. You know what I'm saying?
I'm so mad because and we'll get to what happened last week in a second, but we did not get to discuss the verses. I'll never look at Watermelon the same again.
Sorry, dog.
Hey, did Omarion kill Watermelon for y'all? Please tell me y'all saw the highlights of the verses.
I did not see that
please.
shit, and I'm glad I didn't.
So Omarion, Mario had a versus battle. On paper, you would think Omarion's supposed to just wipe the floor with Mario. Doesn't happen. He gets washed, embarrassed. One of my favorite Drake and Omarion songs, Bria's Interlude. Omarion killed it for me. The reason he killed it for me, nigga came out with Watermelon. And I guess he was losing. He was down initially, but I guess he wanted to, perform for the audience. Started eating the watermelon like he was eating pussy. It was very awkward.
A big piece of
and
watermelon.
then he handed the piece of watermelon directly to the fan. Had her hold that for the rest of the 2 hours of the show. Damn, y'all didn't catch the verses?
He could have worked that with a peach.
Why you had to do watermelon like that? Him and his brother, but
he could have just came out and performed.
They ate it together.
He could have came out and performed.
My thing is you do that shit at your personal shows where women are actually coming out just to see you.
Just to see you,
know
right?
what I mean?
Exactly.
You don't do those shit.
Did he
like
bust
that
out any "You Got Served" moves?
Oh, of course. He had to.
That's almost
Mario.
like he should have stuck to that shit.
Mario was but
You Got Served.
But
Should just had some rain. Should have had some rain coming from the sky, like the one. What's that one video where he was dancing in the water in the rain?
I know what you're talking about. In the climax.
It's the old song.
Yeah.
She should have did that shit.
Yeah.
It just stuck to that. Let that be sexy enough
I think
for him.
it that versus in particular, because I don't know if y'all saw before. We saw Ray J and Bobby Valentino and Sammy.
So that was just the pre-warm up.
Yeah, that was the prelim for for the real battle. I think,
seemed like
but that
that-
versus
that
really
took
showed. That versus really showed vocal performance and the importance of vocal performance
Take
because
care of yourself.
Omarion, he could perform, but vocally, he wasn't. Mario was shitting on him, in my opinion. That's
Especially
my.
when you dancing, though, that cardio plays a big,
yeah, that's tiring.
big factor.
It's tiring. I don't know what was going on with the headset or everything he had going on, but that was an interesting versus when I saw that battle. I was completely wrong. I had Omarion washing Mario like 15-5.
Did Mario play? I want to know your name, man. I
Oh.
want to know if you got
Out
a
the
man.
gate.
I want to know.
Out the gate. Out the gate, he started with that. Oh, well, yo, I knew it was bad when Mario was getting points on records I never heard before. Never heard of this Mario record, but he getting points because he's just
way he
performing it
killing
better
it, yeah.
vocally. So that was just an interesting situation. I'm mad we couldn't discuss it last week, but one thing's for sure, two things for certain. I go by the name of Young Curt James in the cut with Curt James Podcast. Episode might be 69, maybe. I'm just gonna whisper that. But I go by the name of Curt James. We got my guys back. Trap Travy. I do
Yo.
appreciate you, man. My
Nah,
guy.
Anytime you call him here, dog.
Appreciate it, bro. I really appreciate that. We got my guy at the HBA Hoops off mic.
Worldwide.
Preoccupied right now. We got that boy. G3.
Oh, he did it for me.
I thought you was gonna echo or hit me with a G3.
Yeah.
Now,
Go ahead, get into it.
so if you guys are wondering, this podcast might sound or look a little different from previous episodes. There was, how do we describe it? A situation last week, last episode. So,
Yeah, go ahead, drink up.
let me
Take
take
a
a
sip and
sip.
spill the tea. homie.
That's why we're drinking wine this episode, no liquor. Even though I was pretty sober last week, but
Sober from alcohol.
sober from alcohol, yes.
Not sober from a rage standpoint.
Well, damn. So, just to give y'all a little peek behind the curtain, so
We had to scrap last episode.
had to scrap last week's episode because there was almost an altercation from a few of the co-hosts here. So,
What?
yes. Yeah, it was
This
pretty
is a
intense.
great podcast. I don't see how anything can elevate. I guess your topics are really good. Your topics. they get there.
Let him go into detail.
Okay,
And
so
if he don't go into detail, I will.
okay,
Please.
yeah, no, go ahead. Okay, so everybody has their viewpoint. So last week, I was thinking about not doing the episode because I didn't really have too much to discuss, and I don't like those episodes where we don't really have topics to discuss because they're all over the place, in my opinion. So I was gonna cancel the episode. Then the whole abortion situation was overturned, Roe v. Wade, which is crazy. So I wanted to have a woman's perspective on Roe v. Wade on the show. I thought it would look crazy to have 4 men speaking on abortion immediately after that decision was overturned, which is still a wild decision. We can briefly discuss later. But the young lady that I wanted to invite on the show was at odds with one of the podcast guests. However, I reached out to this person and I mentioned, I said, hey, well, I there's a lot of stuff I skipped. Initially, I was going to lie and say we're not going to do the episode. But then,
Never mind. Keep going.
No.
Go ahead.
but then after a few conference calls with the podcast, they mentioned, hey, you should tell this person that you're doing the episode and they just should not come this episode. So I reach out to that person. I said, hey, I was lying earlier. We are going to do the podcast, but the guest doesn't want you there. She's uncomfortable with you there. Are you cool with me doing the episode? This person told me yes. I said, okay, look. I said, if you show up randomly, I'm really going to be upset if you show up. So what do you think happened?
You said that.
Yeah, I said
Tells
that.
me that you already knew that this was gonna happen.
Oh, come on now.
Which is
And
why
you
I
didn't
wanted
even know nothing about it.
Which
Come
is
on
why
now.
I wanted to lie in the
Yeah.
first place and be like, we're not having a podcast because I knew that person would still show up.
Keep going.
So that person shows up. We're about to start the episode. We're ready to go. That person shows up. And we never get to record the episode because it was up from there. And here we are. And we got G3 at the HBA Hoops. And my guy Trap Travy. And the other two guests, they aren't here right now. So,
all right,
how do you feel about the situation?
I'm gonna go ahead and chime in.
Yeah, chime in, please.
First
please
of all,
chime in.
he did lie. It's in the messages. It's in the podcast messages.
I lied and said there would be no podcast.
He said it wouldn't be no podcast. You know what I'm saying? Okay. CJ was wrong, and the other, I don't want to say no names other than the people that's here, but and the other person was wrong for doing it on business time. You know what I'm saying? CJ was wrong for lying, and he knew he had to lie because I think deep down he knew that person was gonna be angry, which is the reason why he lied about it in the first place.
But my thing is this: from a business perspective, and I didn't mean to cut you off, but from a business perspective, if we have the conversation, hey,
which they did
for business purposes, I want this person to be on the podcast. They don't want you there. This is not a permanent thing. This is just today, for the time being. That person told me they were fine, they were cool. 2 hours before the show, everything. Yo, I'm cool. I'm not mad about that. 2 hours later,
he admitted he was
that's
wrong
not the case.
For not telling you the truth, and you know what I'm saying. So that's where he messed up at, for not telling you the truth, and he also messed up for coming up here and doing and causing the scene doing business hours. And you know what I'm saying. Other than that.
So that was at a different studio?
No, this was here.
This was here in the other room, in that other room when you first walk in. But we never got to record the episode because, yes, it was everywhere. It was everywhere. It was outside, inside. So it just led me thinking, because this person is a family member.
Yep.
And you know what they say about mixing friends, family, and business. How do we feel about that overall as far as, or how do you feel about that subject as far as mixing friends, family, and business? Because you know the cliche saying.
Yeah, and I stick with it. Me, honestly. For people that have been your friends and your family, you grew up with them. You know what they're good at. You know what the fuck they gonna do before they do it. Hence on why you felt
the need to lie initially.
Yeah. You've probably been there before, right? So you can do business with family members, but you give them jobs that you know they can do.
Come on now.
You know
I like
what I mean?
that.
Not
like
everything is supposed to be
for them.
Yeah. You know,
correct.
just because you do different things, you know. Right. Now, sometimes when you're more successful and wealthy and X, Y, and Z, you can create other things for them to go do.
Correct.
And still support them. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So that's just my take on it.
I like that.
I like that. And again, it's not as if I did put this person in a position because I saw that they were talented and we could go real far with this person and their energy. I saw that. I don't think I put him in a position that he couldn't handle. I was very appreciative of the consistency that they would show up with to the podcast. However, I do feel as if you have to respect the person making the decisions at the end of the day. If that person tells you, hey, if we had a conversation, I'm having this conversation with you because I respect you and I love you, but at the same time, this is the decision I'm going to make. Are you okay with that, or are you going to cause a scene? And when that person causes a scene, it just makes you think about all of the, because of course I'm thinking about all the positives with that person, mm-hmm. but in the back of my mind, I'm thinking of all the negative shit as well. And I'm thinking, well, you know what? It won't happen with me. Yep. He would never do that to me.
Yep.
I'm going to roll the dice with it. Before even money has even been presented into the situation. Yeah. So it's just kind of like a big red flag. And I'm not trying to have people just chime in on the situation. I just want to know just everyone's opinion on just family and business and, you know, just chiming in here and there on the situation, you know, if you have
right.
other
My
details
thing with
add.
family and business, like I like what Trap said. You know what people good at. Like I know Aisha, she on money. She on my book. She on paperwork.
Right.
She gonna make sure ain't nobody gonna hug you. She gonna make sure can't nobody come and get your trademark. Like she gonna make sure everything good on that end. Now, customer service, depending on the person.
So you got to delegate that properly.
Yeah.
You got to delegate that properly.
She good when it's money involved. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you know, sometimes like I say, depending on the person, it's like, hey, she gonna come at your cutthroat, and everybody can't handle that.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Sometimes you got to know how to delegate your verbiage and your, you know what I'm saying, your attitude towards some people. And what she good at, you know what I'm saying? It's just certain shit. You put people in certain places, and that's a wrap. That's how it's supposed to go. My mama, she can watch kids and shit. You know what I'm saying?
You got to know where to delegate. You got to know where to delegate the person.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
She can watch the cameras because she watch cameras all day.
For real.
What you guys say, Steph?
I said, when it comes to family and business, I think it's something that's underutilized in our community. Because if you go back to the ancient times, like kingdoms are ran by families.
Correct.
But it takes a lot of awareness from everybody. And then it also takes a checking of your ego, for sure.
Correct.
Facts, for
You
sure.
know, then like I'll speak personally on
the situation?
not even this situation,
your
but like
situation.
my parents run a business together.
They do.
Right. And so, my dad name on the business, but my mom plays just as important role as he does, in all honesty. But there's some times where I seen them get into some disputes about just how things are managed and things like that. But I've seen my mom, like, you know how my mama gets.
No, facts. I just think.
I've seen my mom, like, get emotional about certain things in moments, and my dad have to, kind of
Calm her down.
Yeah, like I don't even want to use that word just in case she listening.
No, I see what you're saying.
But just like, give her a different perspective that make her see the overall long-term vision.
I just think that the difficult part about that is when you got to have those tough conversations. Because if you're not friends with this person, or if you understand, we're associates, but at the same time, this is what we have to do. We have a business together. I think it's kind of easier to kind of maybe, I don't want to say discipline, but to like make a decision. Hey, this is what we doing. We got to move forward. When it's somebody like your brother or your cousin or a family member, you're kind of thinking about, well, damn, how would they feel if I said it like this?
Bullshit.
Tiptoeing around their feelings, I feel.
The thing about that is it's a time and place for all of it. And as long as you handle that accordingly, none of that matters. Like tough discussions don't need to be in front of everybody. It don't need to be in front of the store. Like, say you got a storefront and you need to have you need to go to the back, y'all need to go to the room. Don't nobody need to get loud just in case people can't overhear you. You know what I'm saying? Certain stuff just need to be handled at certain times. And that's just what it come down to. And sometimes people forget to make time to do those things.
In my situation, a lot of businesses I've been associated with or invested in or just things of that nature, they have became more of my family than actual family members, which is crazy, right?
Right.
But with anything in business and with any relationship, family, somebody you're learning new, you set that boundary at first. And that's what a lot of successful people do. They don't have those emotions inside of business.
Come on now.
And you just can't.
And I ain't gonna lie, I'm an emotional cat, and I think the people involved are emotional as well.
And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, because that is what got you to where you're at, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
So that's what continues to help you with your decisions. But there's a thin line between that. So even with your emotions, you need to have your emotion be a boundary. So say, hey, so you don't hurt me and my business, I can't allow this to happen. And once that boundary is laid, people who love you is going to respect that. And they're going to make mistakes. Trust me, you got to allow mistakes too, because that's how both people grow and learn. So, I mean, in this situation, I feel like y'all, it's just going to have to breathe. Y'all reset and come back to it.
I ain't gonna front because, I had to go to church.
Yeah.
I went to church. The pastor was talking about bitterness and
you're not talking to you,
man. Talk about something. Are you God? Vengeance is mine, said the Lord. I'm thinking about this. Ooh, and I really did not want to go, but I needed to hear that message that morning because I was very upset. How have you ever had a disagreement with a family member that's gotten to the point where you felt like I can't fuck with you anymore?
Bro, it's mind blowing to me because it just happened maybe an hour ago.
What?
And
Really?
you send me the topics, and I'm like, bro, there's no fucking way that this is what he wants the first topic to be. And
Hey, we good, Cody? You good? Keep talking.
and it's a rift between me and my mother, man. And at the end of the day, it's a lot of growing pains, and it's a lot of shit that goes on to where I don't think she doesn't see me as a child anymore, and she gets in the way of my life. So that's part of that boundary situation that I'm saying. She's never gonna change who she is because usually parents are too far gone. They're just who they are. The way I want to live my life and change the cycles and do things, she just don't understand. So she feels like I'm rebelling against whatever decisions are X, Y, and Z that I'm making for my life. So I just was like, bro, there's no way that this is what it is, but the tension is tough. And I think I'm just to the point that I got to continue to treat parents the same way I treat friends, treat anybody else that you love.
It's hard to do, but you're right. You got to set those boundaries.
Got to, dog.
Especially with your parents.
And love will always be there.
Ain't nothing wrong with not going around people that ain't for you in the moment.
Fact.
Like, and sometimes it's your brother, sometimes it's your mama, sometimes it's your cousin, sometimes it's your sister, uncle, auntie. It really don't matter. If y'all beefing, sometimes it's just best not to be around them people for a time period. It's like in most cases with like close siblings, a talk later and all of that'll come in. Like, I ain't gonna lie, man, there was a point in time I was beefing with my people. I wouldn't just. Am I going to the family function? Nope. I got my own stuff to do. Like I'd rather not deal with that until we fix our situation without having to go to a family function. It wasn't no need for me to go.
How long did that last?
I say some years.
Yeah, bro. I
I said a couple
daddy
years.
in 6 years
Some years.
over the same situation. If you're not gonna respect the decisions that I make for myself, I gotta cut you out. I mean, even my own blood. You know what I mean? That's how important my own life is to me, and I don't think people treat that the way they should. It's nothing wrong with you making those decisions. There's nothing wrong with you not wanting to be around people, family or not. If it's supposed to work, the universe is gonna make that shit work.
Straight up, because then I came back and apologized to my to one of my people, you know what I'm saying, with my mama. You know what I'm saying? I love my mama. You know what I'm saying? Like my mom, we was going through it for a little bit, but we back, we good. And I was like, man, I'm happy that I had the mama that I had because, like I told her, I say, man, you taught me some things that a lot of these kids don't even know that they need to be doing. And I was just like, thank you, because I don't want to be like them. Thank you. Straight up.
No, I hear that. And I know just growing up with you off mic at the HBA Hoops, I know how you and your brother would get.
Oh, yes.
But see, I'm an only child, so it's hard for me. I can easily shut somebody out and go cold and not talk to you. But then, like I said, I'm going to church. They talking about not being bitter, and they said you could be smiling in somebody's face, but still have bitterness and hatred in your heart towards that person. So, how do you deal with that? Just
yeah, because as you know, me and my brother used to get into it.
He older or younger?
He younger than me.
Oh, yeah.
He hard headed as hell.
Yeah.
Love you, boy, but you know you is. But,
very.
I mean, I'm used to we could fist fight and be an hour later back cool like it ain't nothing happened. So that's like for me, I'm able to get over shit a lot quicker than most people.
But you think having a sibling helped that though, growing up?
Probably. Because at the end of the day, I understand the bigger picture is at the end of the day, you my brother.
Because niggas is stubborn on both sides. I will say that.
No, yeah, for sure.
Because I told G3 I'm not reaching out to nobody, especially if niggas ain't reached out to me.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
I mean, I guess also I'm the big brother. So I was always, you know how my daddy is. I was taught that it's my job.
Your responsibility to make things right.
The more mature one.
Yeah.
So most of the time when me and my brother would get into it, I mean, there would be some times where I was more stubborn. But
fuck that mature shit.
Yeah, but more times than not, it was me going to him like, even if he started it, hey fool, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
hey, that voice get deep. All right, bro. Like,
we end up back good.
You want this pizza or what?
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, that's
And
how
then
it works, bro. You
and
want to get
then-
on the game, fool?
And
Come
then
on,
even
man.
if it's like, we specifically with HBA,
Oh, I know.
when my brother was a part of the organization working with us, we got into a little rift. And for a while,
I can't even say what he did.
yeah, we gonna keep that off mic.
Yeah, we'll keep it off. Mic.
But I mean, yeah. So that I ain't gonna lie, that was something that he came and spoke to me about first. 'Cause
right. I remember how you felt in the moment.
But I wasn't beefed up with like. Now I was on some as far as the business HBA. I ain't even worried, but like I was on some. I went over there. This is my brother. I'm still gonna rock with you. Now you might not be in my business, my organization no more, but that don't change the fact you my brother.
Right.
And then I doesn't like me and you gonna be brothers whether I got this business or not.
How do you take it after that?
Like I said, no, he ended up coming to me and like apologizing and whatnot, and then we spoke it out. Like he did break the ice. I will say that. Now, as far as like the actual business part, but then like I remember the first time we spoke after the riff, or tried to speak. I went over there to my parents' house. He was over there, and I just said, "What's up, fool?" He kind of gave me he kind of gave me a head nod, but he was giving me the cold shoulder. But then like probably a day later, he was calling me, "Hey, come through the crib. I'm gonna talk to you."
Right. Okay.
Then we chopped it up for about an hour. We was back good.
I hear that. And
Yep.
again, it's just
End of the day, y'all was both wrong.
I still feel like once I said, "Yo, this is what I'm doing,"
You lied first though.
but I went back and said I lied. This is what's
After
happening.
what? After you talk to other people, correct?
But it was
That-
2
that-
hours before the show, though. That's my thing. If I told you 2 hours before we about to record, yo, initially I lied. This is what's
You
happening.
understand the pain still fresh.
Boys are still processing shit. Man.
You know what I'm saying?
Man,
So
come
like,
on, man.
and then what I think one thing you gotta really, when it comes to conflict resolution, especially with family, you can't be trying to measure who more wrong, who more right.
That's
Who
why I
did?
say y'all both. That's why I say y'all both wrong.
You can't be trying to measure who did wrong first, who did wrong last. When you know both wrong, both people need to take accountability.
But I feel like if you work at a job and your job say, "Hey, this is what we're doing. This is how it has to be done," and you pull up to your job and you're disrespectful to your boss, you're fired.
I understand that, but
But that's
at the end
why
of the day, you know that's not the dynamic with your fam.
But if the
'Cause
boss
that's
wrong,
like with
if
me
the-
and my
if-
bro-
If the boss is wrong, it's EOC.
But
EOCC.
if the boss, can the boss really in that situation? Y'all think the boss can be wrong?
yeah, bosses can be wrong too.
Because you know the
And I hate
situation
to,
with me and my brother.
and I hate to frame it like that as if I'm the boss or things like that. I'm just simply saying,
Bosses can be wrong.
if you worked somewhere and they tell you, "Hey, this is what we doing," we reached out to you for consideration because we fuck with you. You're employee of the month, but this is what we're doing, and you say, "No, fuck that."
All I'm saying is, don't change the schedule today.
I hear what you're saying, and we're gonna agree to disagree on that because we can talk about this all day. But let's go to commercial break. We got more stuff to talk about in the Cut with Curt James Podcast.